Hey, Nick, we need a tagline for the podcast.
No. Real life opinions. Movie reviews told by fans and not critics.
Guess what time of year it is?
Christmas.
It was Christmas to me.
I have no idea from that song what time of year it is.
None? It's stabby time.
I think
It's stabby stab?
what's fantastic about that theme, besides the fact that I use it every year for my ringtone for the entire month of October, but is that it was John Carpenter and Deborah Hill themselves who actually composed it.
Really? Wait, what instrument are they playing there?
It's just a piano and a synthesizer. That's all it is.
Wrong theme song.
There's like a mixture of The Exorcist and Halloween.
Kind of, yeah.
I don't play a synthesizer, okay? Like,
Not scary enough there, Jeff. Not at all.
Was this John Carpenter's first film?
Mm-mm.
What was before this? Because I don't know him well enough to know what's before this.
Let's see. The Thing was 80, so not that.
The Thing was definitely afterwards, which is funny.
Escape from New York was after that.
It's funny, the Thing's in this one. Like the
Yeah,
original Thing.
yeah.
When I saw that, I was just like, oh, hey!
That was totally... Well, not on purpose per se, because again, it's 2 years prior to his version, but...
Well, maybe he was already making it,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay, we are wrong, Corey. This is... No, it's not Assault on Precinct 13.
There you go.
Assault on Precinct 13?
The original, because they made a remake of that one too in
Yeah,
the 2000s.
The late 2000 film?
That was a great movie too.
Was that Bruce Willis in the remake?
No.
Why do I think Bruce Willis in the remake?
Oh shit, even I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
Oh,
They don't put it in order, the asses. Captain Voyeur.
Well, that doesn't
Captain
count.
Voyeur?
That
That's,
doesn't sound appropriate at all.
That sounds like that was a student movie. Like he made it when he was...
But I mean, Wes Craven's student movie is still one of his most well-known movies.
What's his student movie?
Last House on the Left.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, that's one of those movies that needed a remake, right?
Yeah, until they made it.
I guess.
And then it didn't need to be remade because
Yeah.
the remake sucked.
I didn't know that was his student movie. I knew that was like one of his first movies.
1972.
For which one, Captain Voyeur?
Last House.
Last House, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When was Captain Voyeur?
1969.
1969?
That would have to have been a college movie.
It was.
Yeah.
Wow, he must have made something in between that and Halloween.
Yeah, lots.
See, I can only think of a handful of John Carpenter movies offhand, and all of them are in the 80s. Like, except for Halloween, which is 79? 78?
Yeah.
78. Yeah, they even say that in the movie, right?
Yeah, it actually comes up. Halloween, 1978.
Yeah. You might be onto something, though. I'm trying to think.
What he had before that?
Vampires came out in the 90s.
Yeah, Vampires was like 98, 97. Yeah.
That was not as good as I was hoping it would be.
I rented that from Video Update.
I saw it in the theater, so...
Really?
Yeah.
But it had like a kick-ass trailer.
Yeah, that's why I was excited. I'm like, Vampires was my favorite horror genre, and or subgenre, I guess, and John Carpenter, so I'm like, can't go wrong, but it was disappointing.
It was James Woods too, wasn't it?
Yep.
I fucking love James Woods.
Everybody loves James Woods. James Woods loves James Woods.
He really does.
Did you blame him?
He has a school named after him in Family Guy.
Did either one of you guys ever watch Clerks, the animated series?
I never did.
No.
I think
So-
I watched like an episode or two, but...
There's a joke about James Wood coming to town, and like Kevin Smith is just like, yeah, well, apparently James Wood just loves doing this shit. So like,
All right, so up to Halloween, there wasn't a lot. The Resurrection of Bronco Billy, Dark Star, Assault on Precinct 13, Eyes of Laura Mars, Zuma Beach, and then Halloween.
that sounds like a lot.
There's not that many.
There's only one of those movies sounds like it did any good.
Assault?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
good they remade it.
That's not always Who said it? Like, I wish they would make really bad movies into remakes and make them good.
Yeah, instead of making good movies and making crappy remakes.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, I don't remember who said that.
I saw that as a meme with Lisa on the chalkboard there. So, yeah.
Well, let's see. Hollywood has writers who don't have their own ideas.
Well, I don't mind a remake if it's done well.
I don't necessarily agree that Hollywood has no good ideas. Hollywood has no good original marketable ideas. There are lots of good original ideas out there, and then they bomb, they tank. But, like, you know what's the biggest movie of the year this year? Deadpool and Wolverine.
Came out in video today, by the way. Totally bought my copy. So.
Nice. Beetlejuice. Huge movie this year. Sequel, right?
Well, nostalgia is becoming huge again. Like, it kind of goes in waves, and it's in the peak right now, which is what I'm hoping to
take
advantage of. So.
Because us millennials are becoming middle-aged and grasping for our youth.
Yeah.
You Gen Xers
back in my day.
You Gen Xers had your time where it's like, okay, I need my nostalgia, and then that kind of went away, and now it's us millennials. And it's like,
You're right. He's getting to the point of, oh wait, is this your midlife crisis?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, that's pretty good. You're what, 46?
Yeah, I'll make it to 92.
Yeah, nice.
Well, actually, I'm only 45, so it'll be 90. But either way,
I can handle 90.
I don't even want to make 80. Like, fuck. Just as soon as I have no control over my own bodily functions, I want to be put down.
No.
I'm going to sign that in the will. So I could be 60 years old. It's like, fuck, I peed myself. Where's the gun?
I want to be put down.
Corey shits his pants 2 weeks later. Oh, sorry, Corey. You said once you lose control.
So does that mean if you have to be put down, Jeff and I get to beat you with the newspaper first?
Shove my nose in it.
Bad Corey. Oh my god. That reminds me of the one pet rock from Family Guy. You guys ever see that one?
No.
Where
I'm sure I did, yeah.
Peter's got this pet rock, and then there's like a spill.
Oh, yeah.
Do I rub its nose in it?
Yeah.
See, and I was thinking the spoof scene for The Exorcist.
No, yeah.
I don't know which spoof you're talking about.
Oh, that was in Scary Movie. I can't remember which one.
Oh, the first one, I think.
I think so. Most of the classics were done
yeah.
in the first ones.
Yeah, so, the whole, she's been having trouble. Bad Reagan!
Well, a very much related topic. That scene in The Exorcist was intense.
It was.
So.
So was the whole crab walk down the stairs.
Yeah, which was added afterwards.
Yeah.
I did not like The Exorcist.
I'm sorry.
I didn't get why it's so huge.
But
time period.
In fairness, too, we're trying to build your love for horror movies.
Well, I saw that it was a double feature at the Bailey Theater. God bless the Bailey Theater. That I saw The Exorcist and The Shining for the first time.
That's a pretty awesome double feature.
That is.
I was like, me and the wife were just kind of like, is The Shining going to be as bad as The Exorcist? Because if The Shining is as bad as The Exorcist, we're not fucking staying. Because
The Shining is a very slow burn, but again, keep in mind that was 1974, and that was unheard of to be on a movie.
I thought The Exorcist was a phenomenal movie. So
I thought you didn't like The Exorcist.
I think I gave it my highest ranking I can give it.
No, that was The Shining.
The Shining. Yes. Did I say The Exorcist?
Yes.
I meant The Shining.
My brain.
I meant The Shining when I said The Exorcist, except for the times when I said The Exorcist and actually meant The Exorcist.
Cool. All right.
So Halloween.
Next note.
Halloween.
I feel like this is one of the more grounded horror movies.
Well, it was arguably the first slasher film.
Yes.
Yeah, we were talking about that last week. I wasn't too sure because, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is before it, right? But is Texas Chainsaw Massacre a slasher film? I guess it is.
Technically, but he only kills two people in that movie.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
And there's no blood.
No, you
And
hear
yet-
him scream, and then
Yeah.
You see him dead, and there's like...
Toby Hooper freaked out on the ratings, guys, because they wanted to give it NC-17. And he's like, for what? There's no blood. There's no... But as the subject matter was so intense for its time, and so he talked them into an R rating at least. But that's, again, like, there's a little bit of swearing. There's no blood, but it's a hard R movie.
I don't remember any nudity either in that one.
No, there's no.
So, yeah, that...
Unlike Halloween, there's a lot of nudity in
The only
Halloween.
blood in... Yeah. The only blood in Texas Chainsaw is when he attacks the dude in the wheelchair and you see the splatter, and that's it.
What's with you guys picking booby movies, by the way?
Well, the
Like,
classic movies have boob, okay?
This is the second week in a row where there's been, like, a lot of nudity. I guess this one's not as bad as
There's
The
only
Shining.
like 2 scenes in Halloween.
Nah,
And Shining doesn't count all the nudity as poster girls.
And
the
frickin'
full frontal.
237.
The full frontal is, like...
Pretty full
aggressive-
frontal.
aggressively full frontal.
I don't know if you count that one. Okay, it is nudity, but I don't know if you can count it as memorable nudity because it scars you.
That's kind of what makes it memorable.
But did it scar you?
A little bit, yes.
Okay,
I'm a
well,
little scarred from The Shining.
Then it's memorable. It can be memorable for you.
My wife had a hard time figuring out, well, what's this have to do with the little kid from the beginning of the movie? I'm like, that's Michael. Well, how is that? Didn't you see the timestamp?
Yeah, 15 years later. Yeah.
Well, like, how did they let him loose out of the insane asylum? He escaped. You watch him escape.
They were transferring him in the bus. The bus crashed. He got off the bus.
Oh.
Now that we're talking about the movie again.
How does this have anything to do with him? What? It's like Friday the 13th. I mean, just make sense out of it, damn it.
No, it made sense to me what was going on. She was very confused. Amy, if you're listening to this, you have to not get so confused when you watch horror movies.
But was she actually paying attention to it, or was she trying to stay awake?
Or was she just basically being an accompaniment to you watching the movie?
Yeah, a little column A, a little column B. It's like, okay, I'm in the vicinity of my husband, and he's doing
I am
this.
watching.
Yeah, this must have been a Corey or Laura pick.
So she was in support role, and you're just supposed to answer her questions, even when you know nothing. Answer the questions.
Do you guys get this in your household? I'll be watching a movie for the first time and then get asked, well, why did they do that?
Oh, I do it on purpose.
Do you really?
Yes.
Well,
Son
you
of a
see,
bitch.
if you watch the movie,
I'm going to take the exact same amount of information that we have both been given, and I will give you an answer. Okay, why do you do it on purpose? Is that like a woman thing? Like, do girls...
Kinda. It's more of a, because you're watching something that we don't want to watch, so therefore I'm going to ask you questions until you watch something that I want to watch.
My wife doesn't like Marvel movies.
And does she talk a lot during them?
Well, she asks me a lot of questions.
Well, there you go. She wants to watch something else.
I actually taught my kids to watch horror movies is to make fun of them, and that's how you don't get scared of them. But now I've created monsters, and every fucking movie they watch, they're always like Mystery Science Theater 3000 the crap out of it. Even in the theater, I'm like, shh.
I just went to Sunday night. We went to the theater with the kids, and like, I went Sunday night. We went to the Good Robot, and me and Amy went to go see Beetlejuice as well. And both of them have the same affliction, where like the quiet in the theater voice is just like, "Wow, did you see that scene?" Yes, I did. I'm sitting in the theater next to you. That was really funny. Yes, it was. Like, granted, both these movies didn't have like a huge audience, like the Good Robot, which might be my favorite movie of the year. That movie was fucking phenomenal. Just like, wow, that movie was good.
Is it from the same producer who did Good Dinosaur?
No,
That was Disney.
it was
It's
the
good
guys
one.
that did Shrek and How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah. Okay.
DreamWorks?
Yeah, it was DreamWorks.
Yeah.
It'll be worth watching then.
It was it was really good. It was really, really good. There was 6 people, including the 4 of us. Oh, there was 8 of. There was 4 other people. We made up half of the theater.
You took all 3 kids?
No, my sister went with us with James and Bailey.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was just trying to figure out the math on his weight. Jeff's got 3 kids.
Wait. Your sister
Yeah.
went with you?
You
Yes.
said Amy was there.
No. When did I say Amy was there? I said Amy went to Beetlejuice.
Oh,
Baby.
okay.
This time
So-
I didn't mess up on saying it. You guys just weren't
It was
listening.
Jeff, Nicole, James, and Bailey for the first one.
And
Yeah,
then
for the good
you
robot.
and
Yeah.
Amy.
Yeah, we went to. If you guys want, it's a delightful experience. If you don't mind seeing a movie a little late, the Daysland Theater, the Majestic Theater. We went there. Hey, we like to do road trip date nights.
Yeah.
So we'll go do Daysland, right? They fucked up. They played the wrong movie. So we're sitting in the audience and some documentary thing is on in the background, and me and Amy are just I don't know, hon. I thought it was Beetlejuice.
It's just the scene where he's talking about the past. With the plague.
Nice documentary. Yeah. Anyway, back to Halloween.
Back to Halloween.
Is Michael Myers just a normal person?
I think.
Well, I wouldn't say normal, but
That's be nice to psychos.
It's not his fault. He's
but
psychotic.
I do not believe until they kind of start spinning off. But I don't believe he was supernatural.
Yeah.
Not in the first one. He survived that gunning down and going out the window, but other than that.
Okay, but you know what? In the gunning down, they could have just missed every vital organ.
Yeah.
Like,
And when he fell out of
I
the
mean,
window.
he was a doctor shooting him. He wasn't a freaking policeman.
right?
Why wouldn't you listen to the doctor? The doctor's just this guy's crazy. I've been working with him for 15 years.
Because he was crazy.
Maybe the doctor was a patient who thought he was a doctor.
Maybe.
I could see that more being Malcolm McDowell in the Rob Zombie version than I could Donald Pleasance in the original version.
I don't know. Come the later ones, he was pretty psychotic.
Yeah.
Does he continue to show up in the other ones?
He's in the because the second one literally picks up a second after the first movie.
Well, it's not a second. It's 45 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow. Yeah, that's a huge difference. 45 minutes afterwards? Oh.
But yeah, it's,
I seem to remember seeing the beginning of the second one, and isn't he in a river or something like that? Is that how the second one begins?
I thought she wakes up in the hospital.
She wakes up in the hospital.
Yeah.
Okay. Why the fuck do I think Michael Myers is in a river?
It's quite funny with Halloween with me, and I mean, I know your opinion, but every Halloween iteration, not sequel, not spin-off, but every Halloween iteration, so Halloween 1978, Halloween 2007, Halloween 2018, every one of those I loved. And that says a lot.
But you didn't love all of the sequels?
No.
And
Halloween 2 was good for 1978.
Yes.
Which I can't remember what year it was. Probably the next year. Halloween 2 with Rob Zombie was god-awful. And I actually liked the entire Halloween trilogy of the 2018, the David Gordon Green. Obviously, they kind of got gradually worse, but in my opinion, they were still good. So...
Right, and when you think about it too, for Halloween and Halloween 2, because of when they came out, it was just a long movie split in two.
Totally. Even Rob Zombies was the same way, but the difference is he did not want to make that movie. He fought it. He had somebody else lined up. It was all good to go. The guy dropped out at the last second. And so he's like, fine, I'll fucking do it. But then he essentially gave the middle finger to the studios with a lot of it. It's very similar to how Sam Raimi did Spider-Man 3, where he begrudgingly did it, but he did so much completely out of the context scenes that just absolutely made no sense. But like in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, The mom, which is Sherry Moon in the 2007 one, of course.
Of course.
She's in all his movies. She appears as a ghost riding a white horse.
Oh.
Yeah, because that's natural. So
that doesn't make any sense.
no, it was awful.
The
It was
psychedelic acid
awful.
trip was so much fun.
But
I find like the little I know of the Rob Zombie, I find like the third one's kind of a fascinating thing because he's a kind of an old, beaten down man in the third one, is he not?
there is no third one.
Was it not the
Not
Rob
for
Zombie,
Rob, no.
or am I thinking of the other?
You're thinking of the David Gordon Green one.
I love that idea where like the killer is like he's been shot and stabbed so many times and he's actually fucking beaten down.
But that's where they actually introduce in that one too that it's not him.
It's what he's kind of stood for
It's
lack
what
of
he's,
better words.
Yeah, and it's the mask that makes him that way. That's where they introduce that.
Yeah, the David Gordon Green trilogy I thought was great. Rob Zombie's Halloween was something amazing because people loved the original Halloween because it's like, oh, this shapeless figure that just killed people. Oh my god. Back then, that's acceptable. And so all the purists, of course, hated the Rob Zombie one because it wasn't the original. But the Rob Zombie one gave a look. What made this kid crazy? What made this kid snap? As he got older, what made him snap and keep going on these killing sprees? And I love the mind of a killer. So
Did you just call me a purist?
yeah, you're a horror purist.
if you're a fan of originals over remakes, then you're a purist.
Okay. I just didn't like the Rob Zombie ones.
Isn't that like the same reason why you didn't like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street remake?
Fuck Nightmare on Elm
No.
Street remake.
No.
I thought it was
No,
the
no.
same reason. Like, why does he
No.
need all this backstory?
So
No,
that
he
was
had just as
not
much backstory in the original. It's just the backstory they gave him in
Was
the remake
wrong.
was awful.
And that one wasn't even so much a remake as a prequel, and it sucked beyond measure.
Like, it was a prequel to like the originals.
Yeah,
Well,
basically.
It was a little
Well,
bit
the
of column A, a
first
little
like
bit of column B.
45
Yeah.
minutes.
It was awful. Like I rated it as a remake of Nightmare on Elm Street. I gave it a 1 out of 10. As a standalone movie, I gave it a 3 out of 10 because it was definitely original, but it was still awful. So,
And I can almost agree with those ratings.
What about this one resonates with you guys? Like, why the original? Like, why is this one so
suspense. I love a good suspense in horror, and this movie is one of the most, in my opinion, suspenseful horror classics out there. So
It is. And like you've heard me bring up the Boogeyman several times.
When
This
Michael
one-
Myers, he's the boogeyman.
Michael Myers is the Boogeyman. He's well, not real life, obviously, but he's that thought that's there. He's that faceless figure.
He's a hair's breadth away from being a real person in this movie. This particular iteration,
was that the Boogeyman? Yes, it was.
No, there's no such thing as the Boogeyman.
Well, that was the last scenes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a little bit too much driving. Like there seemed like there was a lot of scenes where they were just like cruising around and then like, oh, the station wagon's following them, and it's like,
So, okay, is it the driving that you have the issue with, or the put it out before my dad smells it?
Right? Fuck. Oh, put it out. Meanwhile, do you know how much that smell sticks? Guaranteed the dad smells it.
is his dad is her dad the chief or is he
Sheriff.
he's the sheriff?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember if he was like just a cop or if he
No,
was
he was
hired.
the sheriff. What was Sheriff Brackett was his name, but
He should have fucking known.
Yeah, he probably just didn't care. But
She's not actively doing it in front of him.
yeah,
Yeah, just putting it out 5 seconds before
Yeah.
you
In the
pull
family station wagon.
I liked the Rob Zombie one because they got Brad Dourif to play the sheriff,
Oh,
and I freaking love Brad Dourif. So
Yeah.
you know what? I won't trust anybody who doesn't like Devil's Rejects. Okay,
a lot of people don't like Devil's Rejects.
not for her reasons. You can not like it's an intense movie. I can see you not liking it because holy fuck, that movie's intense. Your logic is awful.
It's not that I do not like Rob Zombie movies. I never have. He's a great singer.
Yeah,
Don't like his movies.
great musician.
He's a great performer.
Yes. But I do not like
His stage show, like I've seen him twice in concert. His stage show is amazing. His concerts live, vocally, suck. He like talks out his lyrics in his concerts, and it's like, oh my god. And I get a lot of his voice is synthesized for his stuff, but goddamn.
But yeah, I've never liked his movies. It's just like the new Monsters. I will not watch it.
I actually, when I bought a stack of movies from someone the other day in Edmonton there, it was all horror DVDs. That's where I got all these, right? Yeah. He had one Blu-ray in it.
And
it was Rob Zombie Monsters. I'm like, I have an excuse to watch this movie now. Plus, I paid for it, so technically I can keep it too. So,
Right.
Yeah, you just got to make sure you don't do that too often, right?
No.
I'm gonna buy 150 movies and keep 100 for myself.
Poor Lisa's gonna be like, I thought you were selling these things.
Yeah, no. I think in my entire span of doing everything I've done, like between the Blockbuster and this, I think 2 movies. So,
Lots of time to change that.
Yeah. Well, as Laura walks in here, she's like, damn it, I don't have this movie, I don't have this movie.
I still want that movie.
Saw it, yeah.
$2 is pretty cheap.
Shit, where's my purse?
And 10 cents plus tax.
Right, but I'm wondering if I have.
So what else about who was I think this was Jamie Lee Curtis's first movie. It's hard to recognize. It said introducing Jamie Lee Curtis.
Well, then that would do it.
That would be her first movie then.
Like, it's weird to think of her as a teenager.
And then she became the Scream Queen after that, right?
Yeah.
She was the first Scream Queen.
She very much was, yeah.
Yeah, I was looking up her other stuff that she did.
Prom Night.
And there was 1980. She had 3 Scream movies, eh?
Did she do Hello Mary? No, Mary Lou was the second Prom Night. Never mind, that wasn't her.
Oh, and that was late 80s, early 90s. Hello, Mary Sue. Mary Lou.
Yeah.
I can't even think of the names. I know Prom Night was about the only other successful one. The other ones kind of all lost a bit of money. But in 1980, there was 3 other ones.
She's gotten a little eccentric as she's gotten older, but all in all, she's done nothing wrong in my opinion. So
I never knew her as a Scream Queen because when I started, I was never the horror guy, right? So the first thing I remember her from was True Lies. Yeah.
Freaking love that movie.
Oh fuck, it's at
Walmart on 4K now for $15. I gotta grab that. So only because I don't have it on Blu-ray. I'm not rebuying it just to rebuy it. All the 4Ks now that come because they're taking.
Just wait for it to come through the store.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for Halloween Ends, or at least the trilogy on Blu-ray. I found the trilogy at Walmart for DVD, but I have 1 and 2, but I don't have the 3rd, and it's pissing me off that I can't find it anywhere.
You know what? Now we know the real reason why you opened up a DVD store.
Yeah, for me. got it, need it, got it, need it.
I mean, I'm already walking in here going, got it, need it.
Oh.
I was actually looking through there. I'm like, yep, I can count on probably one hand the amount of movies there I haven't seen.
Yeah. There's a lot here that I haven't seen.
I can even say I've seen America's Serial Killers.
I actually own that because that came in something at home, so I grabbed it. And
is that Charlie Manson?
Yeah, because it's about actual serial killers, so yes, it is.
Wow, we've done very little talking about Halloween.
No, that's not true. I say we're doing pretty damn good.
I think we're like a 30-70 split right now.
Maybe 60-40 and not.
Okay, we'll give it 60-40. We'll give it a 60-40.
What's it called? So, yeah, when he escapes from the bus there and everything and he starts stalking Jamie Lee Curtis there. Again, suspense. I just enjoyed that so well.
I don't remember it being from the bus.
Wasn't it the bus?
No.
Oh no, he stole the car, didn't he? Of the nurse.
Yeah, he stole the car.
Right.
Yeah, because she went.
That was the 2018 one that he escaped the bus.
The nurse ran out, and then he jumped on the roof and tried to choke her. Mm-hmm. That was freaky.
Yeah. No, I was getting 2018 mixed up.
Yeah, because she went and she drove there with the doctor for the transport.
Yeah.
And then the doctor seen him inside the fence.
Yeah.
I didn't want to argue with you about the bus thing because I'm just like, maybe I didn't watch this properly, but I remember him like jumping over the fence.
Yeah, because they drive up and she's chain smoking, and he goes, "Why are all the prisoners out? Or why are all the patients out?"
Mm-hmm.
That's...
Well, smoking in the early 80s, late 70s in movies, just blows me away. Like,
you had to. And back then, there wasn't like the freaking cinnamon clove cigarettes either. They were fucking smoking.
mm-hmm.
There was a lot of actors who didn't smoke back then who went and did a movie and ended up being a smoker.
It's easy to forget now how popular smoking used to be, right?
Yeah, I'm glad. And I'm not anti-smoking by any means, but I'm glad that it's come down to a dull roar now. So
Yes.
I
As you know what, as a smoker, I can honestly say that I told my kids, I ever catch you smoking, I will kick your ever living asses.
read someplace it helps cure ADHD. I'm not even joking.
No. But you know what does help cure ADHD? Coffee.
Well, it short circuits your brain, right? That's what it does.
I'm sure marijuana's got one of those effects too, but I'm not about to.
I used to
Do
say
that,
that
so-
marijuana killed my stupid cells.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, you didn't smoke enough of it.
Apparently.
So what's the best death in this movie? I'm like,
Okay, the nerdy boyfriend was pretty good.
Oh, I love it.
Right?
Freaking jabs him up in the wall there, and then he tilts his head.
Yeah.
I love that. And then goes into the girlfriend's bedroom there
With
with
him
the
dressed
sheet
in
on
the
and the
sheet.
glasses.
oh, see that's the most memorable one for me with the sheet and oh yeah.
And then PJ Souls being hello. It's funny actually because I
Yes,
know I keep
death
going
is
back
funny.
to. I know why I keep going back to Rob Zombie, but in Devil's Rejects and even like a lot of his movies, he gets in all these classic '80s women, but who now have gotten older, and he just makes them look ugly because like old and no makeup kind of looking. And so like Dee Wallace is in 3 from Hell. And she was the mom in Howling. She was the mom in E.T. too. But
I thought I recognized her.
what's it called? And then PJ Souls is in Devil's Rejects for like a hot 30 seconds. She's the one that he takes the car from that has the kid in it there. And then he kicks her out of the car and steals her car there. Anyway, so that was PJ Souls. That's the one who stood up and flashed her boobs in 1978. And in Devil's Rejects, she just looks terrible. But that's what he does. So
Yeah, it's like people get old or something.
but
like that.
it's like he makes them look even older and even more white trashy type thing. So
Well, she did flash her boobs, so like maybe she is a little white trashy. I don't know. Laura's laughing like she's flashed her boobs, and he's like,
No,
"Where?"
I guarantee she has.
All I can think of is every single one of my favorite horror movies, and now I'm thinking of the lead actresses as trailer trash.
You know who never flashed their boobs, which surprised me?
Jamie Lee.
Heather Langenkamp.
Why? I know the name. It's not. The face isn't coming.
Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, Nancy.
Yeah.
Well, you never have the leading girl though, and that's like, what else was she in?
She actually didn't do a lot of movies. She stepped behind and did a lot of production sets. She actually did the production, like set art, everything like that for Evan Almighty.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But she's behind the camera more than anything now. Not directing, but like behind the scenes stuff. So
It's too bad she couldn't have got with Bruce Almighty instead of Evan Almighty because of the two.
yeah.
We were talking at work today about like the worst sequel, and I think Evan Almighty is
Which is
strong
very,
contender.
very disappointing because it's Steve Carell. So.
Jeff, it's Halloween. You're supposed to be discussing Halloween movies, not freaking comedies.
Well, I guess
I mean,
No.
we were
Just
discussing.
because they're comedies to us.
yeah, I'm sure you were watching Halloween before this review, and it was a laugh riot.
Actually, no. I did watch Dominion, though.
Dominion?
Nice.
Yeah, the prequel to...
Did you buy it?
No, it's on Prime.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Though we're not endorsing streaming sites because physical media is the way to go.
I'm
right?
looking for it because it was at Walmart on Blu-ray and I was going to buy it, and now I can only find the DVD.
Yeah, but
so
I did watch Dominion. It's not bad.
I liked
It's
it.
not The Exorcist, but...
I liked it. I will fight the critics. So
Right?
I was gonna say you'd fight Gene Siskel, but I guess he's dead now, isn't he?
he wouldn't put up much of a fight, but I try. So I can't promise I'll win.
God
But
I don't...
damn it! Punching the
No,
headstone.
he-
it'd be like the whole Deadpool Wolverine scene with the skull.
He could totally come back as script keeper for you.
I would be impressed if you could like exhume his dead body and beat up a bunch of like heavily trained TVA guards with his body. That
Totally
would be,
could do it.
That'd be impressive.
Totally
$100
could do
says
it.
that Corey does it, but dies in the end.
As long as there's NSYNC playing in the background, I don't care.
Bye, bye, bye.
And he's got to do the dance while doing it.
Oh, fun fact about Wolverine and Deadpool. I don't think we
We're
talked
still
about
not
it.
talking about Halloween
You
here.
got on the Deadpool thing.
No.
Oh wait, that was Corey, wasn't it?
No.
It was
you
Corey.
were talking about Evan Almighty, and I said that you're supposed to be talking about Halloween movies during October.
I think he started talking about Evan Almighty, and I guess talked about bad sequels.
I talk about Evan Almighty because of Heather Langenkamp.
That's right. So it's
Yeah.
your fault. Okay. What?
But in the second Deadpool, the opening song is Celine Dion,
Yeah.
and he says, "Next time we're getting in sync." It was a throwaway joke that I didn't realize till like someone pointed it out for like in the third one.
Wow. Actually, that one was over my head too. Holy
Right?
Deadpool, best jokes.
cow. But yeah, Halloween.
Yeah,
It's 2 days away.
2 days away.
and it's a movie that we're reviewing right now.
Literally.
Well, the thing with Halloween is there's not a lot going on in that movie.
It's I was like disappointed how, like, I guess I sung the praises of The Shining, and there's not always a lot going on in The Shining, but there's like an atmosphere that's always looming in the background in The Shining.
Well, and that's the Kubrick factor too. Is he's very atmospheric.
I felt like there was a lot of times in this movie where it just kind of felt like there was not much going on.
No, there was a lot going on. All the teen babysitters were trying to get laid, so kept
Well-
pawning the kids off on Laurie Strode.
I did notice that a lot because like Laurie's just like getting more and more kids here. Like what the fuck?
What was super cool is the girl who played whatever the hell her name was, the little girl.
Sure.
Lindsay.
Yes.
Lindsay. She was actually in the David Gordon Green Halloweens, the same actress too.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Who was she in that
She,
one?
like
Herself?
The girl, yeah.
Oh really?
Because it was supposed to be like this was essentially supposed to take over after Halloween 2.
Have
So-
you guys ever looked into the timeline? Like the fucking Halloween timeline is ridiculous.
3 through 6 don't exist.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they're in like their own. They call it the Thorn timeline.
Yeah, it's
And then it's just like, oh, well, the next set of movies we're gonna like go back to the first two.
well, it's a requel. They dropped that phrase in Scream, right? It's a requel where it's a reboot, but not. It's a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always going to be a legacy character involved, and it tends to make a chunk of movies not exist. So
How many times has like Jamie Lee Curtis been in Halloween movies?
Actually,
3,
okay, but no, fun fact on that one, she has been in every single one of them.
except for Seasons of the Witch.
No,
First
she was
season?
in that one too.
She was.
She was a curfew announcer.
Really?
Yep. Jamie Lee Curtis has been in every single Halloween movie.
Really.
Yep.
All right.
So why? I don't understand why he's obsessed with her specifically in the later ones. Like in this one, okay, he's just killing people. Okay, but
Well, no, because even in this one, he's going home, and he
well,
believes,
and she stopped at his home.
and he believes that that's his baby sister.
Which
Is that why?
They played with that in some of the sequels, but
Yes.
then in the requel, they said, "Oh, that was just a rumor that was going around."
Yeah.
So that makes sense, actually. But she wasn't.
Depends on which timeline you follow.
Yeah, because if you follow if you follow the original 2, then yes, she was his baby sister, but because the whole family died except for her, she was adopted to the realtor's family who was trying to sell the house.
Oh, so is that like explained in the second one then? Because that's definitely not explained in the first one.
No, the doctor explains it a little bit in the first one.
That he's
And she explains it a little bit too, but like this
that
is what
he's
her mother.
that Lori is his baby sister.
Okay, that specifically is explained more in the second one.
Okay.
But she actually states that her adoptive mother, like in the first one, she states that her adoptive mother tells her who her family originally was.
I don't remember her talking at all with her adopted mother in this one.
No, that's because you don't actually see the adoptive mother. You
Yeah.
don't see the adopted father either.
Yeah.
Which, again, Rob Zombie, they totally explain the
So
parents. and
I'm
everything, so-
confused by all of this because I haven't seen the later ones.
Yeah, you would have to watch the later ones to
Okay.
understand that.
But that makes sense. Like
I mean-
it doesn't make sense, but it
You
makes
can't
sense
make
why
a
does
sequel without somewhat continuing the storyline.
Well, I never understood why the obsession with her specifically in like the later ones, right? Like
So-
like in this one, I guess like he's just killing fucking
In the-
teenagers.
In the later ones, it's because she got away.
Oh,
So then it becomes an obsession because she got away.
do they kill the whatchamacallit, the doctor?
In the later ones.
How far does Donald Pleasance go?
He is only in...
Obviously 1 and 2.
And he was in... And not number 3, number 4 he was in. And then...
Imagine by like 4 and 5. I've like seen the covers. Those fucking movies look terrible.
They were pretty bad.
Freaking Resurrection, H2O.
Like, they were really bad.
H2O's was like the only Halloween movie I'd seen before this, and I don't remember much
That
from
was Josh Hartnett, who is not really a name anymore, but was really big in the 90s. That was Josh Hartnett's first movie.
Everyone thought he was going to be something huge,
Yeah,
right?
like Disturbing Behavior. No, not Disturbing Behavior.
Was it Cruel Intentions?
Yeah, it was Disturbing Behavior.
Faculty.
Faculty.
Oh,
yeah.
I loved him in The Faculty.
Yeah. That was kind of... I saw this meme. It's like, can we bring back the long sleeve shirts under the t-shirt that showed him? So,
Right.
So, I've had a late day here, so I'm going to keep this a shorter one.
I mean,
You've had a late day?
pushing,
Yeah, I've had a late day. I came here straight from work. It's
or an early evening.
Long day?
no late day.
Okay.
Late day. That's what I'm going with.
So what are you dressing up as tomorrow night, Jeff?
Uh,
I gotta ask.
If I can finish it, which I don't know if I'm going to now, I'm gonna go as Bob from Beetlejuice.
Nice.
I need ping pong balls. I meant to ask you for ping pong balls.
I don't have ping pong balls.
Yeah.
For the eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I still think that all of us need to go as? We all need to dig out our Craven shirts
Oh,
and go
yeah,
as
it goes
Team
with
Garbage.
I could be down for Team Garbage.
I'm totally digging
I'm
out
good.
my shirt. You had to have been there to be part of
Exactly.
this team.
I actually, when I was at Spirit Halloween a few weeks ago, I saw the Michael Myers mask from the David Gordon Green series, so the very weathered looking mask, and I'm like, hey, this is great. Flip it over, $89.99. I'm like, this is not that great. But I saw on Buy and Sell, or not Buy and Sell, but Marketplace, somebody was selling, it looked like the exact mask. It was only $30, so...
What you should do is buy yourself a William Shatner mask, spray paint it white.
That's weird. Why would you do that? Didn't they turn it inside out, too?
That would make a lot of sense.
I think so, actually.
Is his
I'm trying
ma-
to remember.
Is his mask supposed to be the clown mask from the beginning of the movie?
No.
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 But speaking about clowns, my darling sister, if you are listening to me, I have a line on a clown, you witch.
All right.
The bitch is going to Hawaii and she's not taking me with her.
Wow.
Taking me, and I don't even know her.
I can castrate you. I will torment her for the rest of her life.
Why is she going to Hawaii?
Because she's mean and she's not taking me with her.
I don't think you go to Hawaii because you're mean. You don't bring your sister because you're mean.
You go to Hawaii because fuck you, that's why.
Like, I went to Mexico without my sister, so...
Me too. Actually, that's not true. The first time I did. The second time she was there.
I think it's a belated anniversary thing, but still, it's November. It's not March, so fuck you.
So it's an early anniversary.
No.
Andrew goes to me. He's like, if your store makes it really, really big, can we go to Hawaii? I'm like, okay. Is it going to be that big? Probably not. But
how are you going to be able to go to Hawaii? You're going to be working 7 days a week.
Oh, I will make somebody. Actually, I've got a buddy who I really want to bring on, like, casual / part-time.
Is it Dave?
No.
You know, you get the, I'll make somebody do it in the side glance. It's like, hey now.
Is it Laura?
No.
Good. I will. You have insurance, right? How big is your insurance?
Pretty good.
Okay.
I know it's not me because I don't need the fucking work.
Yeah. You guys both work too much. Honestly, that's why I don't think of you guys.
Right. We do both work way too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I sent you the pictures of what I'm doing this week.
So.
Though I would love the fucking the change of pace. Love it.
Here, we'll just tell Randy to do your job, and Becky can take back over doing my job. And while he's gone, we can play in the store.
No offense to Randy. Randy could not do my job in a million years. He could not get in and out of the holes.
That's what she
and
said.
he does not know near enough about like the water end of stuff.
Okay, so Becky can get in the hole, so.
Well, Becky can get in the holes too, but I don't think people appreciate the level of education you need to have to be in my position.
I'm trying to get you out of there for a week so that you can come work for Corey.
If you go to Hawaii, I will run the store for a week for you, okay?
All right.
If you go to Hawaii, I will not run the store for a week for you, but I'll come hang out. Been there, done that, don't want to do it again.
No, my buddy's been, he helped me do a lot of the touch-ups. He actually did the blue strip.
The day that you dumped the paint down your front?
No, that was the day.
Or is that the day after?
Day before.
Do we know this buddy?
Braden.
Oh yeah, I know this buddy.
Yeah. Good kid.
But yeah, he's he knows it would just be like casual / part-time, but I don't know, like I know my kids won't listen to this, so I can say what I want. Steven really wants it for a job because he wants money.
Yeah.
I don't really think
you don't hire your kids so they can make money.
Well, it's not even that. I just don't think he's got the customer service bug in him.
You never know until you give him the shot.
He worked at McDonald's, and
It takes some learning.
yeah.
This kind of customer service takes some learning.
And then Andrew only is going to do it casually too because he's working full time and working like 10-hour week, like days per week type things. So he doesn't want to work that much. He just wants to help out. So if I can get my buddy to work like 2 days and not even 8-hour shifts.
Yeah.
So
Just make sure you're making some money first.
yes. Oh yeah. No, and he knows that. So basically January is going to be, I will say whether I'm going to hire somebody or not.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, by then you'll know.
I think you're going to need some help for Moonlight Madness.
Midnight.
No, it's called Moonlight.
It's Midnight Madness.
It's Moonlight.
When did they change the damn name?
It's like always been Moonlight Madness.
No, it's Midnight
sure?
Madness.
Yep. I'm pretty confident. There's another Midnight Madness at like the brick stores have like Midnight Madness, so people think that Moonlight Madness is Midnight Madness. But yeah. But anyway, I was trying to ask you guys because I need this to wrap up for fuck's sakes. I'm tired, goddammit.
Well, you can be tired all you want.
Where do we put this in the video store?
Romance.
Romance. Eh?
It's a Midnight Madness.
I was very confident it was Moonlight. Well, look at me be wrong. There's a first time for everything, and I'm wrong in this one situation.
Oh.
I think this movie belongs in comedy.
And that makes two today.
So It's not a horror because by Corey's definition, it has no supernatural.
I struggle because I actually, this series in particular, I always like, technically it's not a horror.
But it is a slasher.
So.
Where is slasher a different genre?
No.
Or
Well,
is
it depends
slasher
on
a
which one you're
subgenre of horror?
It's more of a subgenre.
It's a subgenre. Yeah, because, that's like looking at Aliens. That one's not supernatural to me. That's just sci-fi.
See, I think sci-fi can be supernatural, though. Like, guess because it's, like it says science in the name, it's a different sort of supernatural when it's science fiction, I feel.
I think Alien and Predator, for example, both belong in horror, but yet they're not supernatural.
If you go based by that, then Aliens in the Attic needs to be put into the horror section.
Well, it's not scary.
My point!
I would almost argue that Predator is an action, but there is horror elements in it. Like, it's definitely a thriller, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Alien's definitely a horror movie.
Aliens is a horror. Predator was originally billed as an action movie.
Well, so Schwarzenegger, right? Schwarzenegger didn't do horror, he just did action. So.
Exactly.
But it was filmed like... Well, that's not true. Terminator's a horror movie. The first one? The second one's an action movie, but the first one was a horror movie.
I see why you're saying that, and we've had this conversation, but no.
The first Terminator movie was shot, the music, the way everything was made like a horror film or a thriller. I wouldn't quite call it a slasher, but like there's more death in it than
close to being a slasher. So
there's more death in it than Halloween.
We're gonna do a pie chart for Jeff.
I don't feel like I'm alone in thinking that the original Terminator, like not Terminator 2 or any of the subsequent ones afterwards, but the original one, I think there's a very strong, and this isn't even like the Jurassic Park thing, guys.
Okay.
Like
Jeff, Jeff,
this is like legitimately was built as a horror film.
you need to take a year off your regular job and come work for Corey for free.
obviously.
Just so.
Amy, if you're listening, that is not happening. Just to be clear.
6 months, we'll talk. But 1 year, not happening.
Right. Just so that you know, like, where this shit goes.
I don't understand how the first Terminator isn't a horror movie.
See, he's back on. See, he's the type of person that I would have worked with that would have screwed up my shelves.
It's funny because I see what he's saying. I don't agree with it, but I see his point of view.
Right?
Yeah, like, God damn it, that makes too much sense.
Well, technically so does your Jurassic Park argument, but I refuse to agree to it, so...
Yeah, no.
So...
Okay, you know what? If you win that Jurassic Park can go in the horror section, then so does Land Before Time.
You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for one day to come in and Jeff's in the store, like I wasn't working with you or something. Either way, Jeff's in the store and all of a sudden I fucking see Jurassic Park in the horror.
Right?
I'm like, fuck Jeff!
No, I swear to God, if you end up with Land Before Time in here and Jurassic Park is over there, I'm moving Land Before Time.
I mean, in all fairness, those dinosaurs didn't try to kill humans.
So?
I think that's what, like, makes it horror?
No, Jeff's just afraid that he's going to go to a theme park, have to go to the bathroom, and T-Rex is going to come get him.
Wait, have you guys ever been on the Jurassic Park Universal
Yes.
ride?
Yes.
Twice.
It's fucking awesome, isn't it? Where, like, the T-Rex comes,
And then you
like...
just drop.
Yeah.
Right?
That was actually my favorite ride, like, in all of California that I've been
Yeah.
to. So, I mean, I haven't been to, like, Knott's Berry or anything like that, but between Disneyland and California Adventure and Universal, that was my favorite ride.
I want to say my favorite ride was... That was, I think, a close second to Buzzsaw Falls, but that was because there was no lineup. We went in February, and it was too cold to go on a water ride. So the lineup for, like, Jurassic Park and Buzzsaw Falls was, like, non-existent.
Yeah, I remember I went in July, and there were still, like, Americans wearing ponchos. I'm like, you'll be dry in 10 seconds! They had to have mists in the lineup because it was so hot out, and yet people are wearing ponchos.
Well, you know what?
Although my second favorite ride was easily the Tower of Terror, which I'm very sad is gone. So
Yes.
Tower of Terror was... I chickened out of the Tower of Terror. It was the only ride I chickened out of.
So I'm not a huge fan of roller coasters or drops, but Tower of Terror was by far one of my favorites. Haunted Mansion too.
Haunted Mansion was pretty great.
It was.
Haunted Mansion exceeded my expectations. Like, I was like, oh my god, this is going to be terrible.
Speaking of exceed expectations, the new movie exceeded
I
my
have not
expectations.
watched it yet.
We watched it actually the other night for the second time, and
really?
it's
We had it on, but we didn't, like... We had kid stuff going
Yeah.
on, so I didn't... Because I'd heard... You told me that before, that it was quite good, so...
See, like, I think Haunted Mansion, I think Eddie Murphy.
well, and that's fair, and it's funny because the new story is not at all that story, but it's yet more faithful to the ride than the original.
Then I'll have to watch
How
it.
do you be faithful to a ride?
Because the ride was a story in itself, right?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Same with Tower of Terror.
Tower of Terror was a Twilight Zone episode.
Yes.
So
The Tower of Terror was impressive. Well, Haunted Mansion was pretty impressive too, actually.
it really was. Pirates of the Caribbean bored the crap out of me.
Well, they had like did they have Jack Sparrow just kind of like implemented in the
Yeah.
You could see all these animatronics for like the 70s, and then there's Jack Sparrow. And it's like
Yeah.
I liked the Pirates of the Caribbean, but that's only because while we were there, Johnny Depp was actually in down there being Jack Sparrow, so he was in the ride.
Okay.
Did either of you guys get to try Mount Everest?
No.
Or I guess it's called the Matterhorn in California.
Matterhorn.
Yeah, it's
I
called
did that.
Mount Everest in Florida, but it's the same ride.
Okay.
Where the Yeti destroys the roller coaster.
No.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, that's my favorite one. But that was in California. It's slightly
Yeah.
different.
No, I did that.
I don't like roller coasters. Oh. All right, so Jeff is wrong on where the movie goes in the horror or in the.
It's a horror to me. And I was joking.
You already said action
I mean, I
Or
said
I
I
romance.
said comedy.
or
So
comedy. Yeah, well, you're both wrong. But
you
it's
think?
a family friendly.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
me
bad.
and Bailey watched this together. James comes up like, "What are you watching, Dad?" And there's like, it's like the sheet scene of it is like,
Oh shit.
"Go down, James. Just get out."
You go
of
to
here."
pause it just to make sure he doesn't see it, and all of a sudden it's right on the boobs. It's like shit.
Oh, Laura, final thoughts on Halloween?
I need to have one on this one. It's Halloween.
Well, you need to have your ranking and like, what do you think of it? And
It's a classic. It's one that this one I actually watch more than once a year. Like, I don't just watch it in October. This one still gets an 8 out of 10 for me.
an 8 out of 10, eh? That's a pretty good rating. Especially like, it's not the way movies are filmed nowadays.
No. So the only reason it actually loses any points is because it is another one that, as you're watching it, it does not hold up. Like, the filming does not hold up.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, overall, I still like the movie. It's got a good storyline. Okay, the first 5 minutes, it's got a good storyline. And then the rest of it is just trying to figure out where is he in the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my type of movie.
Corey, how about you? What are your final thoughts on this?
I think it's quintessential October watching, and yes, between this one and the Rob Zombie one, I do watch it outside of October too. What's it called? It's arguably slow paced, but I love the different kills. Like whether it be that old couple in their house, whether it be the teenagers, whether it be whatever. They're all original in my opinion, and they were cool. And like even the scene with the boyfriend getting impaled with the knife and then the head cocking, Rob Zombie copied that exact scene because he knew how iconic that scene was. Mm-hmm. Like he even cocked the head and everything. Yep. So like it again, the movie is iconic. The movie is basically it's what the bar that most slasher movies try to be. Because as life progressed, a slasher film had to be so much blood and so much guts and little story. Whereas back in the day when they didn't have the budget for the blood and guts, they relied on story. And so my opinion's always been the less gore, the better, because it's always more story driven then.
And that makes sense because as we got, especially later into the 2000s and everything, we lost slashers, or the type of movies that we would consider a slasher, and then all of a sudden you got slasher porn.
Torture porn.
Or torture porn.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the Saw movies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I like the Saw movies, don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's...
But there's no story to it.
Well, Saw 1 was cool. Saw 4 was cool because it backstoried Saw 1. Saw 6 backstoried everything.
Yeah.
And that was the only really, really good ones. I mean, you can watch them all back to back to back to back to back and get an overlying story, but they're not trying that hard.
No.
So, but yeah, I'll do a little higher. I'll say 8.5 because I think it holds up simply because, like I said, it's the benchmark.
Yeah.
So.
And I can agree with that one. I mean, part of the reason that it gets such a high rating for me is Jamie Lee. She is the original Scream Queen. At least for me.
Oh, she totally is.
For me, my final thoughts with this, I don't have the nostalgia
I
attachment.
didn't ask you, Jeff. No, just kidding.
Okay, I'm out of here.
So, Jeff gets a final thought, but just so everybody knows, it's October. His opinion really doesn't matter.
Wow. Wow. Wait, does that mean my opinion normally matters?
Yes! So you're saying there's a chance. Oh, Jeff, you matter.
Yeah, because everybody matters.
Yeah.
A little. I don't have the same nostalgic attachment to this as you guys do. And I saw a lot of its age. But I appreciate how it was the original to do a lot of that stuff. And I appreciate a slower paced story. And there wasn't...
Yeah, he doesn't like The Exorcist.
Right?
There wasn't a lot... There wasn't a lot to pick apart about this movie because there wasn't like a lot of glaring mistakes or anything like that. There wasn't like a glaring thing wrong. But I can't give it any higher than a Temple of Doom just because I guess it didn't grab me. Like even Strangeland. Mm-hmm. Strangeland was a much worse done movie. But that movie grabbed me. Like, you paid attention to that movie, right?
Because you're trying to figure out what's going on.
This one, I don't know. I don't want to say I was disinterested because I was engaged. But it also, like, I don't know, it was kind of boring. And, like, I don't think a slasher film should end up being boring, right? And not that it was immensely boring. Like, it's not even... Like, the film's not a bad film. It just didn't engage me, right? So, Temple of Doom is about as high as I can go for it.
Sigh.
Right? I
I
still haven't figured out his rating, but that sounds bad.
But Temple of Doom's like halfway through.
Okay.
and like, the more I think about it, like the more I really do like the human characters of it. So I almost want to give it a little higher than that, but I guess, I don't know, it didn't grab me. I am kind of interested to see some of the remakes, to see what happens in them, now that I know a bit of the backstory. But this is one's like, I think it's got the weakest story in a movie I've seen in a long time. It's just like Escape, Insane Asylum, Escapee. That's what this movie is, right? And I think it's lesser without watching everything else, right? On its own, and despite how popular it was and how well done it actually was, it's still, there's no substance to the story for me.
This is definitely one that Jeff would have had to watch Halloween 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Just to get the whole context on it all, you would have had to watch both.
Did you watch, like, I know you were saying you kind of knew what was going on with the new series there. Did you watch all three, or did you just watch any of them, or just kind of bits and pieces?
What I have got is mostly from you and like stuff I've picked up on the internet trying to research, right?
Because I have Rob Zombie and I have the David Gordon Green Halloween 1 over there if you want to borrow. They're right beside each other, the green one. It's just
Yeah,
one of those Walmart horror covers.
And
You
then
pop
there's
the,
a
Halloween-
pop the sleeve off and
Halloween
it'll be right
beside
here.
Halloween.
Yeah,
Yes.
I might have to borrow those from you.
yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I have them on Blu-ray, but that's just as easy for you probably. So,
Yeah. So,
anyway,
now we come to that time of the night, eh?
yeah.
So, we should probably let Jeff pick the movie for next week, considering we
I
monopolized.
bet if you give them
October.
freaking November.
I did have a movie in mind, and I can't recall it offhand now.
Oh, good.
There was a movie I was really, really hoping to do, and I was just like, well, I'll wait till after October, and now I can't recall what it was. So, but yeah, rest assured we'll have something by next week, okay?
Sounds good.
Hopefully by Friday, so I have time to watch it.
Yeah, hopefully by Friday so you have time to watch it. Oh. Laura, what's going on in your world?
I'm tearing out a wall.
That sounds terrible.
It kind of is. But you know what? It's Halloween in 2 days, so I really don't care.
Are you going to do like the "Here's Johnny" while you're knocking down the wall?
Actually, I kind of did.
Nice.
I'm so proud.
Right? Yeah, no, I kind of already did that. So, because I'm literally knocking down a wall.
Oh yeah, guess like Jack Nicholson. Like,
No,
where's your axe?
I didn't have one, so I used a crowbar. Other than that, yeah, no, it is my favorite time of year. So then I'll
the
do,
most wonderful time of the year.
and then I'll start decorating for Christmas. Yay! But beyond that, not much. Corey.
I got nothing going on.
Oh, bullshit.
You have like a million things.
I have a million. Well, no, it's just one thing that sprouted into a million sub things. Yeah, we are. What is today? The 29th?
29th.
29th. So.
13 days, 14.
2 weeks to the day. 2 weeks to the day away from opening up a video store that's not a rental. It's a retro video game, movie, collectible store here in Camrose. Check it out. The Database Camrose. We're on Google.
And I saw your advertisement in the morning news.
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah, I was quite like, wow, look at that full page spread.
Yeah. Better be for what I paid for it.
I'm like,
but-
big money spender is what I was thinking.
Oh my god, it was so much, but I wanted it done. So, and I only do it on Mondays. So, yeah. And I think he put it on last Tuesday as well. So maybe there was a miscommunication, but I already paid him, so whatever. Yeah. So the store shall be open in 2 weeks to the day, and I hope I get some visitors.
Well, you've got some other exciting stuff happening later on this week, eh?
Oh yeah, it's
You've completely forgot about it.
I don't want to say forgot, but I just don't have the.
Store first.
The mental capacity.
Yeah. There is a Halloween Tricks or Treats play at the Bailey. It's a collection of 4 short one-act plays. I will be in the second one called Dinner with the Kooks. There's some fun stories. Like, I don't want to get into all the stories, but I would say if there's anybody local listening to this, give it a check. The stories are hilarious, and they're a little bit dark, and they're a lot of fun. So, yeah, check us out. November 1st and 2nd, we actually bumped the Halloween show because it was Halloween, so we just have it on the 1st and the 2nd, the Friday and Saturday. Yeah, I'm excited in my own way for it, but it's hard to be fully focused on things other than the store right now, so.
So you're not doing the Halloween night show?
No.
Oh, well, what the heck? Because I thought that would be popular going to do that on Halloween.
Nope.
I
People would rather be out and about and...
Well, that's fair.
I kind of get that one, and you know, if they're going there, then they're not handing out candy to the kids and everything too, right? So.
Well, that's fair. And I bet you there's going to be people that want to go to the Bailey, gets to hang out at the Bailey on Halloween because it's haunted, right? So
They should do Rocky Horror Picture Show again.
We almost did. I was advertising it for a bit there and everything, but then we had some behind the scenes collapsing, and so we're hoping to do it next year. So
I guess we haven't talked about what the fourth member of Real Life Opinions. Do we even count him as a member anymore? I haven't seen that bum in weeks.
He's sometimes a member.
Yeah. He's getting lots of love with his raging Imagineers. I always want to say the podcast name wrong. I say ours wrong half the time too.
Raging Imagineer / Imagination. I think it depends on the post sometimes, I swear.
Yeah. But him and Danielle are hard at it. I've been thinking about it. And one of our topics, I was trying to figure out one that we could snag Danielle for like a crossover event one time. That's what I want to do. I bet you she'd be down for it. So, Raging Imagineers, Real Life Opinion crossover epic.
That's
Marvel versus
that's
DC.
insane. Oh, let's not do Marvel versus DC.
No, that's like the crossover.
Yeah.
You know what I'm.
But
Yeah.
Mike, if you were to do that, Mike definitely wants to be here for that, and then Corey and I have to have this whole thing drawn up. And
I'll be sick
No.
that day.
I'm not saying we're gonna do Marvel versus DC. Like I'm saying, like it's like Marvel versus DC. No. Nobody.
Yeah, I see
You
what you're
remember
saying.
the comics?
Yeah.
Remember the comics? No. Well, I remember the comics.
You know what was great about the comics? When Red Skull and the Joker are facing off, and the Joker's like, I may be psychotic, but I'm an American psychotic.
Yeah. When the Joker's the voice of reason, like
Yeah.
I'm the lesser of the evils here. Oh.
he is psychotic, so it's all good.
Oh my! I was just rereading Old Man Logan.
Oh, such a good book.
And when Red Skull's like taunting Captain America, oh my god! Oh, it's so good, so good. But yeah, I don't have a lot going on in my life, so
Digging holes.
digging holes, putting in hydrants,
Tracking dirt into Corey's store.
Yeah,
yeah,
I saw that.
and spilling hot hamburger all over the place.
We'll
That's right.
forgive you.
That's a good thing you guys love me.
After you clean it up. Anyway,
He made me stock shelves today.
you put the holes in them.
You told me I could.
Uh-huh.
You never told me I had to fix it first.
That's besides the point.
Well, we out of here, kids?
We're gone.
Yeah, because I need to go find my stuff for tomorrow for Halloween. Oh, I wonder if I can find my Budweiser hat.
I know where my Budweiser
Am I allowed
hat
to
is.
wear a beer hat to Scouts?
We've traditionally said no to that kind of stuff, but
I can put a patch on it.
then it wouldn't be a Budweiser hat.
See, and I need to have the Budweiser hat.
Yeah.
So I'm wearing the Budweiser hat.
Okay. Well, if we all wear the Budweiser hat, it's okay.
Okay.
They can't stop us all.
Okay. Good night, peeps.
Good night.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how this normally works. Like, we say good night, we all say it together, right, Laura?
Sure.
Is that it?